The Denver and Kansas City game. Now, the easiest thing to say is that this is going to be a, Denver taking Kansas City out behind the woodshed, giving them a what for. But
But we have thought that a few times this year, and it hasn't come to fruition.
Yes, and you know what? Manning said that himself said that it would be death for them to look past Kansas City's offense and defense. Excuse me. Their defense has actually been relatively strong, and look how they took it to Pittsburgh recently. So I have absolutely no doubt the Broncos are going to win. I think that it's going to be interesting also to see. Apparently, there's a chance that Brady Quinn, our former backup quarterback, of course, could be their starting quarterback, and that could be interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, I've actually never seen Brady Quinn play, so nice to, after being a bench warmer for 2 years, it'll be nice to finally see the guy air out a ball.
It really sucks in sports to play left out.
Oh, God, I know. The thing about it, too, is that for me, the really big story, again, is DJ Williams coming back to the lineup. I really think that he has been a missing ingredient for particularly for the pass defense. And, they're trying to figure out right now how exactly to use him. He prefers to play, weak side or strong side, typically weak side. He'll probably get weak side roles. But the thing about it is Woodyard has been playing really well on the weak side. And, of course, Von Miller's been playing strong side. So you're not going to, you're not going to mess with Miller. You don't want to, mess with the success that Woodyard's having too much. So it could be that, he's going to get slotted in on certain kinds of situations. I am absolutely blown away by what a remarkable defense we have. I mean, Miller, Dumervil, Woodyard, Williams, and Brookings and Trevathan have been doing pretty well too. And Trevathan has been really important. As a rookie, he's been an important mix in the linebacker core. And I think it's only going to get stronger. In fact, I'm kind of with Mark Klee of the Denver Post right now, that I think that in the end it's going to be the defense led by the performance of Von Miller that could have more of an influence on Denver's chance at a Super Bowl than Mr. Manning.
Defenses win championships. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's generally true.
So anyway, I'm sorry. I went way out there, but bottom line is I see Denver racking up 38 points. I see Kansas City barely being able to muster 10. It could quite possibly be less than that.
Okay.
Because I think that the defense is going to smother them, which is why I went out on that whole diatribe about Williams' contribution to the defense.
Sure. I think for this game, in my mind, the game will be decided probably off the field for a couple things. One, the fans have given up completely on the team and the coaching staff. They're wearing black to games now. They're like in mourning. So the question then becomes, off the field, does the team have any pride in itself? Is it going to try to win this game? Is it going to try to play the royal spoiler, which is really realistically the only thing they have left to play for at this point? Will they play for Crennel at the end of the day is the bottom line. Mm-hmm. I don't think so. They haven't to date. They showed a spark of life 2 weeks ago.
Right.
But last week they just collapsed, being back to their regular self. Mm-hmm. So, that's a big question. Also, you don't keep switching quarterbacks every half because you don't like the quarterback's performance. You make a decision and you stick with it. If the guy stinks, you take the new guy out, you put the old guy back in, and that's the end of the conversation. You don't go, back and forth between your two starting quarterbacks. Now they had a concussion thing that changed from Castle to Quinn and back and forth.
Right.
But last week they changed the quarterbacks at halftime, and now they have not announced the starter. No offensive unit likes that. No quarterback, no athlete ever likes being jerked around like that. And that speaks more to the problems in the front office and the coaching staff of the Chiefs and control of their own team than anything. So I don't think they're showing up to play.
Yeah.
And I don't think the fans care enough about the team that the players are going to play to them. That happens sometimes in sports. Mm-hmm. Listen, we've stunk it up, but hey, these guys are paying good money. We need to go out there and kick some butt. When the fans turn against you, the whole thing is sour. Nobody's happy. Like you, I don't think the Chiefs have a chance. The only question I really have I have two questions about the Broncos. Can they run the ball? That's going to be a challenge. Another thing is, can they stop fumbling the ball? Good Lord. It's just like every time like I see a run back, I'm like, that's going to be fumble because people aren't on the ball. Every time I see a run break for a bit and the guy's dancing, it's going to be a fumble. They've got to get that under control. Last week they only lost one of those, but it
could have gone another way.
It could have gone another way on them. The reality for the Chiefs, if they lose this game, they're mathematically eliminated for the playoffs. You've got no chance. So again, are they playing for a playoff spot? I sincerely doubt it. But the Broncos have the opportunity here to knock them out of the park. I'm saying Denver will go actually above their normal 30 range and go to 41.
Okay.
And the Chiefs will manage to get 13 points. They'll get a touchdown somewhere, maybe a Manning pick or fumble picked up off the ground, puts the offense in a great position, something like that. We seem to have that happen at least once a game. And the rest will just be field goals from stalled drives.
Well, you were talking about the running game, and of course, the loss of Marino, McGahee brings Marino possibly back into the mix, which could be a Greek tragedy. Yes, I know. From what I understand, one of the chief criteria for who is going to get the most running reps is actually who can provide the best pass protection.
Yes, and Ball's doing that right now.
Yeah, so something to be said for that.
Sure.
The other thing, though, and I actually had to read this elsewhere, and then I went back and kind of confirmed it for myself. But apparently, over the course of this season, Denver has been working more and more on what turn out to be running downs. Have been working more and more with a 3 wide receiver set to run from. Early on in the season, they were doing more 2 running back, 2 tight end sets. So one of the questions that's going to be interesting and quite possibly answered is, since they're going to have to kind of go with a mix and match running core here, are they going to get away from the 3 wide receiver packages and go to a more conservative tight end 2 running back set, advertise it? But that also answers something else too, which is I believe now, having read this and confirmed it, I think that there's something about how they're doing their 3 wide receiver sets that they run out of that is a tell to the rest of the league. Somebody's gotten a clue about what the Broncos are doing out of these 3 wide receiver running sets. So it could actually work to the Broncos' advantage to be working with some other setups because they have less confidence to run out of that package.
Sure.
And they might start seeing some success again.
They only run a certain number of plays or a certain number of successful plays out of that 1-1-3, and I think the league is starting to pick up on that, reasonably consistently. So John Fox is a great coach. I'm sure he sees that kind of stuff. So
right.
I think that'll it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out against the Chiefs. To me, it's a practice game. You can never look past that.
Right.
But if you are going to start trying some new things and you want to see how these run out, this is probably the game to do it in.
Absolutely.